Hello everyone, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. This is your daily tarot one-card collective reading for Tuesday. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. Okay. If there's something you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, as I said, this is going to be a general collective reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with the card and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I may provide. Okay. And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Seven of Swords, well, kind of a challenging card to start out with as we're just kind of getting back into these daily readings, right? These are all the obstacles that are going to come your way whenever you kind of make a plan, right? It feels like life has other plans. The universe has other plans. In some ways, we see this as a test of our faith, a test of our commitment, because as soon as you say, I'm gonna go for a 5-minute walk every evening after dinner. Well, then every evening after dinner, something is going to come to your attention that is going to try to call you away from fulfilling that commitment, from taking that evening walk, So I think that in a kind of almost a metaphysical way, this card really is about the some of the forces of the universe, right? The evil forces, the negative forces, whatever, the forces of entropy. They are always conspiring to thwart us, right? Or it feels that way. We have to be on the lookout for that. And we have to be aware about how, when we do set our intentions to do something, do we invite other things to kind of take us away from that? I've made that comment several times. I'm going to start walking every night after I eat dinner. And then it's almost like while I'm eating dinner, I'm kind of hoping that something comes up, that there's some other thing I have to do. Oh, I gotta wash the dishes. That there's, we're inviting some sort of distraction. Okay, so the swords that we see here, a lot of these smaller daggers, on the sides, a lot of that is coming from us. And we do that in subtle ways. The mind sometimes works against itself. I don't know if you knew that, but it does. And what we do is try to stay on that central sword. That's the Ace of Swords. That is our truth. That is our will. That's what we decided. And, that opposing energy can come from outside too. It can come from other people. It can come from, a lot of different things. But it can come from, the negative thoughts and opinions of others, right? The disapproval from others, right? And what we've got to try to do is maintain our central course here. We don't want to really be swayed by those negative opinions or the judgment or the disapproval of others, right? Sometimes this card, though, is not such a negative card. Sometimes this is what we may feel are distractions in life are actually very necessary parts of our path, So we set out to do the thing. We have our aspiration, to get healthier, right? In my case, I want to start exercise. I want to be more physically active, right? So that's our central sword, which has the crescent moon up above it there. And sometimes there are these other responsibilities, other things we have to do that at the time seem like distractions. Okay, at the time maybe we've got work to do, or we've got family obligations, or we just we got to catch up on sleep at some point. So we have a lot of these what appear to be distractions. Okay, but what we can do sometimes is try to see how they may indirectly be helping us to our goal. Right? Not everything is it's kind of like the side quests, in one of these, video games or role-playing games or something. There are a lot of different tasks to complete that. If we look at them this way, they can all be in service of our main kind of, holy aspiration that we have, the central sword here. Okay. Now, not everything is. And that's where we have to really be discerning, because it's a fine line. We could then accept everything as a welcome distraction. Oh, this is part of my path. I'm supposed to just sit here on the couch and watch ice cream instead of going for my afternoon walk, which honestly is what I do most of the time. We could look at it that way and then accept everything. And then we will never make any progress. We have to be our own judge. Okay? We have to be very discerning and very vigilant that we're not letting in and inviting all of these distractions to take us away from our central work, because sometimes that's what the mind wants to do, right? Sometimes the mind wants to avoid the hard work, or it thinks that the body would rather have pleasure than hard work. So the mind will sometimes arrange things that we can lean into more enjoyable or pleasurable activities rather than going for the walk. But maybe if we start to enjoy the walk, it will be something that the mind then creates pathways to enable us to do that, right? That's another factor here. But I think with this card today, I think we need to look at how we either invite and welcome distractions into our life, or how we have been trying to push them or lamenting the distractions, and how maybe we need to embrace them a little bit as necessary side quests or components that are in service of our central, goal, path, that aspiration that we have. So maybe if we're on this path to get healthier, right? And so I say, I'm going to start walking every evening after I eat dinner. Well, there are a lot of other distractions that maybe prevent me from walking after dinner on any given day, right? I have to ask myself, am I kind of creating these distractions because I really don't want to do it? And if that's the case, I got to rethink some things, right? Or are these just variables, inevitabilities that come up in life that I don't have much of a say in? They seem like they're obligated. I have to do these things. Well, maybe we could look at those things like right now, maybe I'm too tired to go for a walk. So sleep maybe takes priority, but it's not just being lazy, right? Sleep is in service to this overall kind of goal of being healthful, being health conscious, right? Or maybe it's, I can't go for a walk now because I've got to do the dishes or clean the kitchen, or, I have some business phone calls that I have to make or something like that, right? Now we have to ask ourselves, well, can I postpone those business calls for 5 minutes? Or is it something that boss is calling right now, I got to answer it? And if it's the latter, then that's something that we're obligated to do. It's not really our choice to say, I'm just skipping the walk tonight. But maybe taking care of that work thing, that business or that phone call is in service to your overall goal of being healthful and health conscious, right? So we also have to look at our goals in that kind of a way, where my goal isn't just to be someone that walks after dinner. Well, why do I want to walk after dinner? Well, because I want to maybe have time to relax and digest my food and kind of enjoy being outside. And why do I want to do that? It's in service to an overall life experience that I want to be conscious and aware and connected, and I want to be healthy in order to do that. Right? So we have to keep even extrapolating. We have to just keep getting like more and more abstract with it, to find out where the central sword really is, right? And is the afternoon walk that I want to do after dinner, is that a distraction from something else? Is that a distraction from where I know I've got work I've got to do, but I'd rather go for a walk, right? So it's kind of a card about choices. This is the card of futility or of uselessness, right? And sometimes it's talking about our effort being kind of wasted. In other words, it doesn't matter what we do or what we choose, things are going to be how they are anyway, right? And I think that this is meant to be an exercise in thought, okay? Because I don't believe that any effort is useless or futile. I think even when we try something and we fail, it still gives us a lot of experience, knowledge, and hopefully an education that we can use the next time around. But what is futile is the thought exercise, the thought experiment. This has to happen in real time. If it stays in the mind as just a mental exercise, it's not really accomplishing much. Then it is useless because we're not using it for anything. It is futile because there's no practical side of it. So the air energy is very tricky, right? We have to see how the air translates into action. And I think maybe today's a day that we notice that about ourselves. How much do we spend in our heads planning things, or lamenting our distractions, or welcoming distractions, creating distractions, to take away from the real actions that we know we should be taking right now? Okay. So it's not a day for planning. It's not a day even really for the thought experiment. It's a day to, while you're going through your day, doing actions, right? Let's be aware of how we might be kind of getting in our own way, almost creating those distractions. What else I want to do is one Metatron Oracle card. This will give us another, maybe the realm, maybe the area of life that this focus can take place, that this the mental aspect of our physical activities, let's say. That good old Seven of Swords. Now, all the sevens have a component of love. All sevens have a component of confidence, right? That we can overcome all of these other little daggers that are preventing us from going toward our aspiration. Okay. Yep, two stuck together. What do we have? Red, safety, strength, and power. I like that. Safety, strength, and power. And I think we need all those things, right? We need the strength, the confidence to continue enduring, even when it feels like there are a lot of forces against us, right? I mean, right here, it's, 6 against 1, right? And we need the safety. We need to realize that, this can take place in our home, in our lives, where we're allowed to experiment and make mistakes. We're allowed to fail and then be able to look at the failure and be like, okay, I see what I did there. It has to be safe to fail, right? Otherwise, people aren't going to want to try anything because it's not okay to fail. So therefore, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try. And the power, I think, really to keep going even when it does kind of feel futile and useless, right? That we're making these efforts. And, if every morning I say, tonight after dinner, I'm going to go for a 5-minute walk, and then every day something happens and I don't do it, right? There is this, do I keep persisting day after day? Well, what if now it's been a whole year and I haven't walked a single time after dinner, right? Do I keep trying, or do I reevaluate, well, is this something I actually want to do? Why am I making this goal for myself? And can I start maybe somewhere else to build up this willpower and this discipline to work my way up toward the afternoon 5-minute walk? Yeah, I know. Let's do also one angel number for the day, and then I will let you go. Make sure I only have one. 2, 2, 2. This is alignment. Very nice. Alignment. And it says connections, friendships, romantic relationships, family ties, balance, life choices, compromise, commitment, and trust. How do you move forward toward your life's true calling? Ace of Swords. Do what makes you happy. Your enthusiasm is what keeps you going. Follow your interest. If it's piqued by something, follow these routes. Following these routes will help you discover your life's purpose. Okay, so maybe that's kind of what these other side quests are. Maybe these are there to, if you feel drawn to some, again, we have to be discerning if we're creating these as a distraction because there's something else going on, or if this is just something else that we kind of have to do, or we feel truly called to go on this side quest. If our interest is piqued, right, in the language of the card here, then let's go that direction. And let's explore that. right? And let's see if it's there to help us on our main life path, that Ace of Swords, or if it's telling us that maybe our true life path is perhaps somewhere else, right? A lot to think about today, right? It's a complex card. The swords are always very complex cards, you know. Anyway, I want to thank you for being here. Again, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. Subscribe. It's totally free, all that good stuff. Thank you for joining me, and I thank you. I love you, and we're all in this together.